What's going on, guys? This is Eddie Sue from Siege Finance. Today we're going to be talking about saving your first $100 in your emergency fund. A famous artist once said that rule number 3 is to save you some of that money, so you better stop splurging, because when it's all said and done and you're back at the bottom, they're going to treat you like you're worthless. So, what he's trying to say is you shouldn't try to blow all your money when you do start to gain money and earn a higher income or a higher salary. And it is especially important that you do not succumb to lifestyle inflation. He's just trying to get to the younger people and tell them the importance of saving and investing. So some of the the steps for preparing for retirement include calculating your savings rate, your retirement needs, your emergency fund, budgeting, basic investing, cash flow, seeking help. This one you might not always have to do early on, but you want to closer on towards your retirement, so maybe when you're 20 to 15 years out from retiring. And then lastly is handling debt. Hopefully you're starting enough at a young enough age where you aren't handling any debt at the moment. So over the next several months, I will be covering one goal to set for your retirement and then one of the retirement steps. So first, for our savings rate, we're going to need to calculate how much we are able to save. So we will need to put up a table of our income versus our expenses. For the income, this might be fairly simple for some of you, or might be a little bit more complex with three to four sources of income. So usually we're going to do this on a monthly basis. You can see where your subscriptions are for your expenses, where your monthly expenses are. Some expenses may be periodic, like car maintenance or dental or optometry, and we're going to try and put that into a yearly budget. And then we're going to have an expense tracker for the day-to-day. This will help save your income and reduce your expenses. For an effective expense tracker, you want to be able to track the good or service you bought and the cost and date. By using an expense tracker, you'll be able to see where your money is going dollar by dollar. And I suggest using an online document or a paper copy you can upload to the online document. I would suggest keeping the expense tracker for about 4 to 6 years at a time, so you could backlog and see your improvement over time. And it's also important to avoid buying anything expensive just to track expenses. You can use Google Drive, which is a free service, up to 15 gigabytes. So for us, the goal is to save $100 for your emergency fund. So this might be your first $100 you save. To some of you, $100 saved might be really, really easy, but these tips can still be applicable. And when I mean to save $100, it does not mean to save it for later to spend. It means to save it as an emergency fund, so you only use it when you really, really have to. And we are trying to build an emergency fund to prepare for investing and empower your future, and ultimately prepare for a comfortable retirement. So you will want to save up about 1 times your annual expenses in an emergency fund, and then you can start investing. So it's important that you build the budget in order to understand your annual expenses. And then after you have your $100 saved up, I would put it into a high interest savings account. I'll include an article down below about some various high interest savings account. I would suggest that you don't shy away from stepping outside of the big 5 banks of Canada, or in America, some of the banks down south. There's always better alternatives in online high interest savings accounts. They might offer much better rates, but there is the drawback that there is no physical space that you can just walk into and obtain your money. It sometimes may take a day or two for your transactions. As well, I would like to say that it is important to build an emergency fund on the side while staying up to speed with your debts. So do not sacrifice paying down, say, credit card or student loan payments just to save up some emergency fund. You would ideally try to do both, or not have any debt altogether. Again, a high interest savings account is very, very good in terms of using for an emergency fund, since you can earn about a 1 to 2 annual interest on the money you deposit. Currently, I'm with EQ Bank, and it's about a varying percent between 1 to 2% every month over the year on a monthly basis. And so it's nice to draw some money back, and it's a 1 to 2% is what I would say is ideal. It's much better than the big 5 banks that might offer very, very minuscule rates. So in order to save more money, some lifestyle changes will be required. I call this first one the coffee cup change. So these changes will be small compromises and will not scrutinize your life. One of the most expensive habits is drinking a large amount of pricey coffee, so like a large or extra large or even a medium from say Starbucks will really set you back. And as myself, I'm not quite the coffee drinker, but I understand how the few dollars every day adds up. A few dollars every day can end up to be $90 to $180 every month, and that's something we're going to try to avoid in order to better your financial health. So the coffee cup change is saving money by buying less coffee. We're going to track how much coffee we're going to buy using our expense tracker, ordering smaller sizes, so having the costs go down, and buying less expensive brands or from less expensive institutions. And again, we could follow the same method for alcohol and restaurants, and subscription services like phones, gyms, and insurance can really, really skyrocket your monthly payments. Like a few subscription services can really do you in, such as a $70 to $90 phone bill, a $60 to $80 gym membership, and say $200 insurance. That might be up to $500 every month. And for someone who's young, you might not be earning that much, so it will really, really help to cut back on your expenses. I would say it's worth it to shop around and find more affordable options that you are okay with. I understand that it might be hard to cut back on the phone and gym, but I would tell you that a flagship iPhone is much more expensive than one might perceive. You're paying maybe $30 to $40 a month on top of a data plan that might be costing another $40, which really, really adds up in the end. There are cheaper alternatives for buying an iPhone. Say you don't want to switch phones, you want to stay with the iPhone, you're loyal. You could buy used, or you could buy their less expensive models. So people will often wonder when the appropriate time to start saving is. I would say the proper time is to start way before you were even born. It's incredibly beneficial to have a trust fund, and if you are a future parent, you are looking to have a kid, I would say save up the extra money, keep it on the side, keep it invested, and have it for your child, even for just a education or a retirement. It will add up in the long run. If you're even wondering how much of a difference it makes from a 65-year standpoint, $12,000 will be close to $1 million by the time the child retires, with assuming the average return from the S&P 500, say you were to just invest it in an ETF, as opposed to when you are 20 years old and you are just trying to start your own portfolio, it takes close to $50,000 just to have $1 million by the end of the 45 years. So by the time they're both 65 years old, it takes about a difference of $38,000. It's incredible. That extra $38,000 you save at the beginning when the child is born. So $50,000 over the 65-year period will be a much larger amount and be closer to $4 million. So this might be a bit of a shorter video. This is going to be the last one of the year, December 31st. I hope everyone has a great 2021. I would appreciate it if you left a comment. Tell me if you can figure out who the artist of the first quote is at the beginning of the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and you can reach out to me at EdisonSue_ on Instagram and give me some feedback on the video. Tell me how you feel, any opinions. I'm going to leave some articles down below in the description, so please check those out.